So what is economics and why do we take it as a course? Well, economics is the study of how you, me, your mom, your brother, how individuals and how entities like businesses and the government, how we use our scarce resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. So we're looking at the choices that are made. In macroeconomics, which is the course you're taking here, we're looking at the big picture. So we're looking at what impacts all of the country. We're looking at things like price changes for all goods and services. So inflation, deflation. Do you care if prices go up? Do you care if it costs more to buy your groceries? Sure, it impacts us. When prices are all falling, usually that means the economy is not doing too well, and we care about that too. We care about the unemployment rate. Because if we're looking for a job and the unemployment rate is high, that means there's lots of competition. If you're a company, you care about the unemployment rate as well. If the unemployment rate is high, you have lots of choice. If the unemployment rate is low, then you don't have a lot of choice. And so you might be more reticent to lay off that worker who's just not getting a lot done. So we care about the unemployment rate. It impacts us. We care about what's happening with prices, with interest rates. If we're talking about microeconomics, we're looking at the details. We're looking about where a price for a particular good comes from. We're looking at the quantity of good that is sold. And of course, you care about the prices of particular products. If you have a business, you want to know how much can you sell your service for. So let's say you're a hair salon, how much can you charge for a haircut? You want to know the quantity sold. How many customers will come in the door if you're going to sell your service or a good at a particular price? So we care about prices and quantities. And we care about the things that impact those, like changes in demand. Are there more customers who want your product? Are there more people moving into your town who might use your services? We care about things that impact price, like a change in taxes. Of course, we all know in the last year we've had a carbon tax. So how does that impact the price we're paying for gas? So we care about economics, and we take this course because it impacts us as an individual and as a business. And so we want to look this semester at the impact that that is having. To look a little bit more or give you another example as to why we should care about economics, let's look at the Ford Edsel. And just after this video, you can check out the advertisement for the Ford Edsel. Well, the Ford Edsel has been called one of the worst cars of all time by Time magazine. It was introduced in 1956, and it's named after Ford's brother, Edsel. Well, why is this the worst car of all time? It wasn't a lemon. It worked perfectly fine. In fact, in 1956, the first year it was sold, they sold 60,000 vehicles. That was the second highest of all the cars in that year. So it was great. So why is the Ford Edsel seen as one of the worst vehicles of all time? Well, it really has to do with economics. It turns out that this luxury vehicle was a gas guzzler. Okay? So to get your premium car, it cost a lot of money, and once you had it, you had to pay that for a lot more for gas. Well, why was the Ford Edsel such a dud? Well, it was all about timing and the economy. Because what happened shortly after the release of the Ford Edsel was a recession. And what happens during a recession? Well, during a recession, the economy shrinks, more people get laid off. If you're not laid off, then you are concerned that you might. So you're going to start looking after your money a bit more carefully. You're concerned you may not have as much in the future. And so you're not going to go out and buy that fancy car. And you're not going to buy a car that's going to require a premium gas and that's going to require lots of gas when gas is expensive. So what killed the Ford Edsel was the economy. And so as you are looking at running your own business, working for somebody else's business, and as you're looking at your own personal life going forward, we need to know what's happening to the economy. Because what's happening to the economy happens to us, and it impacts our lives.